Kevin Stefanski's tone said it all. The Cleveland Browns head coach looked into the cameras after another disappointing loss and said what everyone had been thinking. Before you can start winning, you have to stop losing. It wasn't just a throwaway line, it was a confession. The Browns weren't just being beaten, they were beating themselves. Turnovers, miscommunication, lack of rhythm, every offensive drive felt like a struggle against their own identity. And at the center of it all stood Dylan Gabriel, the quarterback Stefanski had backed publicly for weeks, now running out of chances to prove he could turn things around. The pressure had been building for a while. Gabriel's early flashes of athleticism had given fans a reason to hope, but those moments were rare and fleeting. In recent games, his mistakes began to outweigh his moments of brilliance. Missed reads, late throws, poor ball security, each one chipped away at Stefanski's confidence in his starter. During his post-game presser, the coach's words carried an unmistakable edge. He didn't sugarcoat it. The offense wasn't executing, and the turnovers were killing them. The rushing attack, once seen as Gabriel's biggest asset, had vanished. And his passing game? Barely functional, hovering around a 50% completion rate. For a team that's built to win with balance and discipline, that kind of inconsistency is poison. Stefanski admitted that part of the problem was on him. His play calling had failed to create rhythm or synergy, and his offense looked lost between ideas, unsure whether to lean on the run or air it out. But the rest of his message was clear. Gabriel wasn't getting it done. "We've got to find a way to score points," Stefanski said bluntly. "We've got to run the ball efficiently. We've got to find a way to be better in the pass game." All of the above. It was as honest a statement as any coach can give without naming a replacement outright. And that's where the story takes a turn. Because behind the frustration and the misfires, another name has been quietly echoing through Cleveland: Shedeur Sanders. The buzz began after Sanders' brief but electrifying appearance against the Panthers. Despite not taking any first-team reps during practice and preparing under less-than-ideal circumstances, Sanders walked into that game and started dropping dimes. Analysts and fans alike couldn't ignore what they saw. The offense, stagnant all season, suddenly had life. The passes were sharp, the decision-making crisp, the pocket presence poised. For a few quarters, the Browns looked like a completely different team. That performance planted a seed of curiosity that has since grown into a full-blown movement. Garrett Bush, a well-known Browns analyst, summed up the feeling that's taken over the fan base. "The difference is obvious," he said. "You can mimic a quarterback's mechanics, but you can't fake creativity or presence. Some guys just have that natural star quality, and Shedeur has it." Bush went on to describe Gabriel as average, while calling Sanders a once-in-a-generation talent. To Bush and many others, Sanders represents something the Browns have lacked for years: a quarterback who not only plays with confidence but elevates everyone around him. The stats certainly haven't helped Gabriel's case. Even against one of the league's weakest defenses, the Steelers' 29th-ranked unit, he failed to break 200 passing yards, threw no touchdowns, and suffered multiple sacks and turnovers. The Browns walked away with just 9 points in a game that looked more like a scrimmage gone wrong than an NFL showdown. Each drive felt predictable, slow, and lifeless. Analysts have pointed out that even within the same broken system, Sanders could produce far better results. If he were to start now, many believe he could rewrite the narrative entirely, turning a team on the brink of collapse into one worth watching again. Bush didn't mince words about what such a move could mean for the franchise. "If Shedeur comes in and throws for 300, they're putting the Browns on TV every week," he said. "It would be that impressive." That kind of optimism might sound far-fetched for a fan base used to disappointment, but Sanders has that effect on people. His natural composure, accuracy, and leadership remind fans of what they've been missing for decades: a true quarterback to rally behind. Even veteran reporter Mary Kay Cabot has joined the chorus of voices calling for change. Taking to social media, she declared Shedeur Sanders the best passer in the game right now. She went further, comparing his throwing ability to Josh Allen's while emphasizing the sheer natural talent that makes Sanders different. To Cabot, "The Browns are wasting time if they don't give him the reins." "He's ready," she said, urging the coaching staff to trust his confidence and let him play. It was a bold statement, but one that reflected the growing sentiment across Cleveland, that the franchise is standing at a crossroads. The Browns' offense, as it stands, is averaging barely 14 points per game, a number that tells you everything about why fans are restless. They've watched this story too many times before. A talented roster weighed down by an offense that can't score and a quarterback who can't carry the load. For all his toughness and effort, Gabriel hasn't been able to elevate this group, and Stefanski's patience is wearing thin. Meanwhile, Sanders is waiting in the wings, confident, hungry, and reportedly unfazed by the spotlight. The question now isn't whether Sanders will play, it's when. The writing seems to be on the wall. Stefanski's public criticism of Gabriel, once unthinkable, is a clear sign that change is coming. Even if the coach hasn't announced it yet, his tone suggests that the wheels are already in motion. Analysts believe it could happen within weeks, if not sooner. For the Browns, this decision could define the rest of their season and perhaps the next several years. If Stefanski decides to roll the dice with Sanders, it would send a strong message that the team is done playing it safe. It would mean embracing the unknown, betting on raw talent and leadership over experience. And maybe that's exactly what the Browns need. After years of mediocrity and heartbreak, sometimes it takes a bold move to break the cycle. Shedeur Sanders represents that boldness, a spark of something different in a franchise desperate for change. As the clock ticks and the Browns prepare for their next test, the pressure builds. Gabriel remains the starter for now, but the ground beneath him is shifting fast. The locker room knows it. The fans know it. And deep down, Kevin Stefanski knows it too. You can't fix a broken offense by repeating the same mistakes. At some point you have to take the leap. So what do you think, Browns fans? Has Kevin Stefanski finally reached his breaking point with Dylan Gabriel? Is it time for Shedeur Sanders to take over and give this team the jolt it's been missing?